Hiya. So this week's session was just really a talking session about where I was at the moment, and it was kind of following on from the last week. I was talking about how I felt after this my birthday and the ending of having the like all my memories of Tree now being in the past, and I I came to the realization that the reason there was a I think I placed so much hope or importance on this birthday was that I was holding her to an expectation that she could never could never live up to, could never do, could never fulfill. Like with like come on bitch, break another promise, go on. And of course it could never have happened in any of my worlds. This it could never have come true, and like even if it had, like if she had just suddenly walked into my life back after 10 years of all all the pain, it's like I know her as a person, and she wouldn't put me through that, and like there would be no way the friendship would be the same, so what would be the point? But it feels now like I'm free of having these expectations of her. And my therapist was like, are you maybe a little bit angry at her? And it's like, I'm not angry at her. There's just this anger at everything good always leaving, or yeah, like just disappearing. And it's like she was this, like, one of the best people I've ever met, and I just don't understand why she had to leave. And I this feeling that I have here, I finally managed to find the word to describe it, and it's like a black hole. It's like this, like my friendship with Tree is like this black hole in the center of me, where there's no time, or time is just frozen, and there's like no progression. It's just there, existing. But if anything new gets close to it, it's just sucked in and destroyed. It's just like, it just sucks in anything that gets too close to it and destroys it. Because I won't let myself feel this again. I can't let myself. So, sorry. So, my therapist kind of explained to me how my diagnoses fit in with this with the PTSD and the notion of like friendships. But he also was telling me that when he was like the main, like not the problem, the issue with Tree's death is that the friendship with Tree represented everything. This that I've been wanted from like this child version of me, this child me as wanted, like security and stability and support, and then when it happened, all I got was the typical response of it's your fault. Why did this happen? What did you do? You're doing this wrong. You weren't good enough. You've caused another person to have a heart attack. That I'd all heard in my childhood. So he was saying that even when we were dealing with talking about Tree, he was like, I was talking to your child, to child Dom. He was like, your mannerisms and your body language changed. You weren't the adult Dom that I see now, or I see walking into my room and walking out of my room. And it was like, this is the same child Dom that comes out when you have your borderline moments. The one that wants attention, the one that defies authority, the one that just wants to be seen. And yet, like, thinking about it, it all makes fucking sense. So yeah, so he was like, you know what, like, be kinder to yourself, because you're basically dealing with a traumatized child. And now I get it. I get it. Hiya. I had my first therapy session in like 2 weeks because my therapist had some time off. And yeah, like going straight into the process this time was quite quick. It's weird that even at this like late stage of the therapy, because I've only got 2 sessions left now, that even when I see this the 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 image that we're using, I still have that fear of jumping into the memory, or the resistance of it. Yeah, it's not so strong, and it's like not paralyzing, but it's still there, which I guess is what we expected. But this week, I guess with all the like post-birthday stuff and just where I am with the treatment, all I was hearing in my head was like, you know, that this was just a moment, a moment in time, not just the event itself, but the whole friendship was just a moment, a period of time, a narrative that played its part. And I don't know, it wasn't like it's just kind of like don't know, like, oh, that's it. Like, uh, like that's like the like the like like I'm, I'm never gonna see her again. It's like I know. It seems logical. But in like one moment of processing, it just hit me. It's like like just the magnitude of the end. And it's like, I know that this is grief now. I I I can tell that, like, uh, uh, I'm finally grieving. Just 2 more sessions left. Hey, so we had the last session where it was going back to the image to see kind of where we're at. And I mean, the kind of homework that week was to see if I was able to change part of the memory or make it not so vivid or so traumatic. And over the week, I went I realized that there's not one part of it that I can change or take out, because everything that happened, it all makes context within the scope of our friendship. Not just from my point of view, but from her experience of it. And so I actually went and sat in the spot where it happened, for the first time in 10 years, and just sat exactly where I was and where she was, and it it narrowed it narrowed down the vision of reality even more, to how intimate a space this moment actually took place in, like just the size of like a square coffee table. Like, just this momentous occasion took place in such a small area. And then from there, my brain was able to move the image on, move the story on, and it did so. So from this point, we went on to like the final kind of processing, to let the brain, I guess, lock that in. And and in this in that moment, I was able to have a final moment with her, a final conversation with her, and you know, it was like, of course, that would be what it would be. An ending. What more could I expect? Hello. So it was my last session today of this whole EMDR. Hello. So it was my last session of this whole EMDR journey today, and it was kind of like a summary session of everything, and yeah, I think of all the types of therapy I've done, this has been the most personal, the most me-centered, because none of it has really been about my interactions with other people. It's more about my interactions with myself. And the way it's had to make me remain present with my bodily feelings and my present thoughts, rather than actually getting into my head and analysing and thinking and starting to abstract how I feel, has been a challenge, because when I discuss my feelings, I abstract. But it hasn't made me more aware of what, hasn't given me a labeling of emotions, but I'm just more aware of this library of sensations and what they might possibly mean. I think for me, it's quite amazing, or inspiring, shocking, how quick the process is. How this event has taken up so much space for a decade. And within such a relatively small amount of time, it can be kinda neatly put into order, or into some structure that makes sense. That allows it to be contained in a space that is just for itself. And it just makes sense that this therapy, which is like what my last psychiatrist said would be like the last major therapeutic intervention you kind of need, would be about tree. You know, given that when I started this whole mental health journey with the mentalisation, she was one of the only friends that was like, I can't wait to see you at the end of this. And then of course it happened and she never was able to. But now, the way this works, I feel like she has, and we've had that final conversation I've wanted, and I got the approval from all this work I've done to myself from her. And it's like, when I was walking into the session, I was trying to bring up the image we used to process into my head, and all my brain originally did was show me the area in which it happened, but empty. Like after just empty, like none of us there. And it was like, oh, okay. But then my brain was like, no, this isn't right, and it went to place in its position, the tree's body, but instantly it stood like a vision of tree going, nope, no, go away, and like, just go away, you don't need to see this, you don't need to come here anymore. And it's so true. Like, I know my brain's gonna go there. And this whole processing is gonna carry on. But me personally, I don't have to take myself there. There's there's nothing to be gained from that. And it feels I don't know. I guess it feels closed. And it hurts to say that. But I know that's the right thing. And that's the way forward. And I feel lighter. So yeah, that was quite a journey. I don't think I have cried so hard and so much in a long time. But fuck, I fucking needed to.